Hello, in this video I'm going to talk to you about modules and organizing your Canvas course. Now if you're coming from Moodle or Titanium, you might notice that you had topics over there. Well, topics in Canvas are very similar to our modules. It's a collapsed view of everything that students will do in your course, and it's a great way to organize your course so that students can move through your material in a logical sequence. I'm going to first show you an example of how I use modules in one of my upper division courses, Spanish 472, and then I'm going to show you how to create modules and add really nice attributes and restrictions, requirements, and other features of modules so that you can get the best and the most out of the modules for your course. First, this is my landing page, so I welcome students to Spanish 472. Now they can read through this page and connect to the syllabus and click a button to get started, but they will be accessing all of their course materials through modules. In the course menu on the left-hand side, I'll select modules, and here you'll be able to see that I have a syllabus module that has all of the pages of the syllabus in it. I have a welcome module where they can watch a welcome video and tour, do their first VoiceThread introduction activity, and take a quick survey about the syllabus so that I know that they're prepared for the course. And next, I've organized every week of my course into modules. So you'll notice that I've got this set up as a Tuesday-Thursday format, which means that students will submit materials on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. Even though this is a fully asynchronous course, they have multiple weekly due dates so that I can better facilitate discussion and replies. So week one, I always have in the module a weekly activities and goals, and then a weekly wrap up. So I have a nice start and end to each of my module. This is really nice because when students click on the module and they click next through your materials, they don't know that they've entered a new module or not, and they won't see these headings. However, when they click on the module, they'll know these are all the activities that they need to do that week. You'll also notice there's a date underneath it. That's the due date. And then there's a requirement that says view. To get a nice little check mark on the side of their module, they'll need to view that page. This helps them to keep track of what they've seen or not seen. Next, I have little activities for them to do, a quiz and an assignment, and things that they'll need to submit as well. So this is a nice preview. I've organized my modules by week, and this is because this is a fully asynchronous course. Some faculty who teach hybrid courses may have a module for Zoom meetings and then a module for their asynchronous meetings, meaning they may have 2 modules per week. Other faculty like to organize their modules by theme or topic, having one module for 2 or 3 weeks in their course, depending on what they're doing. I also like to include a group translation module that has all the activities for the group assignment and the scaffolding that we'll do through the entire semester. Even though these activities are due different weeks throughout the semester, I like students to be able to have them in a one-stop shop. So you can create your modules for a syllabus, by theme, or by weeks for the whole semester. If you want to preview what this might look like to a student, we can click Student View in the top right corner. Something great about this is on the sides you can see little check marks for the students. So here it says complete all items, and you'll notice there's no check marks for the student. Here they'll need to view, submit, etc. So until they actually open this and view it, they won't get a check mark. So for example, maybe they'll open their to-do list for the week and they'll click next. They'll go ahead and complete the module above and they'll continue on to next. Maybe they'll submit their assignment and so on and so forth. So when they go back to modules as a student, they'll be able to see in that first module, so let's collapse these two here, they'll be able to see, oh, I've already completed this one, and they'll have check marks next to it. So this is called a requirement. We'll go over how to add requirements to your modules towards the end of this video. So this is a nice example of the clean view that students are going to see for your modules. Notice that you can't really make it pretty, so that when you want to design your different modules, you'll really be doing the nice, beautiful designing on your pages. And once students click and enter, then they can see, all this nice organized, and visually appealing content. I'm going to go ahead and leave student view now that we've kind of seen our modules from the student side. Something else that's nice when you add requirements to your module like view is that you can actually view the progress of your students. So in this top right corner, you can click on View Progress, and there'll be a student there. And you can click on the student names and view their progress. Now, since this is a shell for my course and not an actual course, I don't have any student progress in it. But when you have students, you will be able to view it. So now that we've kind of seen how you can organize modules and what they are, I also want to show you a really quick way to make modules for your whole semester. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Commons here. This is Canvas Commons, and there's something in here called the Higher Education template that Cal State Fullerton has made. And so if you want to use the Higher Education Master template, you'll simply search for it in Canvas Commons, and you can go ahead and click on it. Now this is a really nice template because it gives you some instructions, it gives some Canvas guides for your students. It starts you with the welcome module, and then it also gives you engage, explore, expand, evaluate, and creates a module for you in which you can duplicate. So if you want a quick start module, you can go ahead and import this to your course by clicking import or download. So I'll go ahead and do this for my sandbox so that we can kind of see what this looks like if we create a bunch of, template modules. So I'll need to find here my sandbox. Now, if you don't want to use this template, that's perfectly okay, and I'm going to show you how to create your own modules. So if I go back over to my sandbox, I'm going to click on the course navigation menu modules here, and you'll notice I can click create a new module for the very first module, but for all other modules you create, you'll need to click plus module in the top here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a module for my syllabus, a welcome module, and a week 1 and 2 module. So now that I've created a syllabus, week 1 and week 2 module, I can start organizing. Now let's say I want this module in a different location because, the welcome here module should probably be at the top. I can click the 3 dots on the right hand side and I can select move module. It will give me a drop-down pop-out box and a drop-down menu, and here I can select at the top, before, after, or whatnot. So maybe I want this to be before week 1, so I want them to see the syllabus first and then the welcome and then week 1. I can select move before week 1 and move it up. So now my modules will appear in the order of syllabus, welcome, begin here, week 1 and week 2. Now if I want to add content or pages to this, I'll go ahead and click the little plus sign in the module bar as well. So this gray bar here is the module bar. So I can go ahead and click the plus sign. Here I can select assignments, quizzes, files, pages, discussions, etc. To add to it. So if I wanted to add a file that had my syllabus, then I could create a file and I could choose that file from my, from my computer. So I can add a PDF or Word document or something like that. Now, you'll want to make sure that these documents are accessible, or create new pages for your syllabus, which is something I typically do to make a liquid syllabus. But if you'd like to just upload the document, you can do that as well by clicking on File, choosing your file, and then clicking Add Item. It will upload the item and it will show the item here. It will also give you an accessibility score, so you see that my PDF is accessible. If yours isn't, you can always take a workshop from the FDC or OET or other web AIM workshops to learn how to make your PDFs and Word documents accessible. Or as I said before, you can create pages for your documents directly on Canvas. So now we've added a little file. Now if we want to add more things to this syllabus, we can, but if that's all we want to add, we can go ahead and publish that. For our Welcome Begin Here module, maybe we want to add a discussion board so students can interact with one another. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add on this module bar here, and I'm going to select from the drop-down menu Discussion, and I'm going to go ahead and create a topic. So introduce yourself, right? So here I'm just creating the discussion page. I'm not going to put any content in it yet. So you can just click Add Item here. So if we want to add that and work on discussions, we can always click on that, and then here we can edit it and we can add all this wonderful things to discussions as we usually would. So we can do that as well. So we come back to it. Maybe you want to introduce yourself. Maybe we want to include a page about ourselves. So maybe we want to include an About Your Instructor page. so that students can get to know you as well. You can always drag and drop the items to move between them. And maybe you want to do maybe a little assignment. Maybe you want to create a, tell me 3 things about yourself, right? Assignment. And you can create a little assignment as well. So now we've got an about you page, a discussion for them to introduce themselves, and then a little assignment where they can tell you 3 things about themselves that's, private just for you. We can also add a quiz if we want to. So maybe I want to add an accountability quiz for my syllabus. So I can go back up to my syllabus module, click the little plus sign, scroll down to quiz, and I can create a quiz, and then I can create a syllabus quiz for students, and I can add questions to that quiz later. So again, I'm just creating little kind of templates or areas for me to build later, but I can kind of build out my module here. In week 1, maybe I want to add a page. So again, I can click the little plus sign and I can click on a page, and maybe I'll create the page, which is maybe the weekly goals and checklist page, which I can always add things to later. So this is how you can add, discussions, pages, quizzes, and things to your modules. Now, if you've already created stuff, that's super great too. You can click the little plus sign and you can select things that you've already added. So for example, I've already created this example page, so I could add the example page. I've already created maybe a different quiz, so maybe I can add my new quiz that I created in other videos. I can add assignments that I've already created, for example the Las Meninas example, and so these are already created, and so when I click on them, the material is already going to be there, and so they can watch and listen and answer the questions for my interactive lesson here. So they watch the video and then it stops and they answer questions. So you can add anything that you've already created to the modules as well, or you can add little placeholders and build the content later. So let's go back to modules and see now what we can actually do with the module that we've made these basic modules here. So now that we've made some basic modules, we can add more advanced features to these. So if you're not ready for advanced stuff, that's okay. You can stop the video now, go create your modules, and you'll be good to go. But if you want to set requirements, restrictions, or even lock your modules, then stay tuned, keep on here with me, and we'll get through that too. So first, if you have anything in your module, you can always click on the module bar in the very far right hand side on the 3 dots. And this is going to give you edit, move contents, delete, send to, copy, etc. So you can copy it to another course, you can send it to a colleague, you can share it to Commons, you can delete it, you can move it. You can also take all the contents from there and move it to the welcome. So maybe I want to say, well, I don't really need a separate module for my syllabus since it's only, the PDF and a quiz. So maybe I want to go ahead and move those content, that content from that module to my welcome here. And we'll go ahead and put it, at the end of the welcome here, and I can move all the contents from it and say, you know what, I actually don't really need this syllabus module, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it, and I'm just going to keep all of it in a welcome here module that students can do. And then I can reorganize it, have them take the syllabus quiz, before or after, or maybe I want them to view the syllabus first and take the quiz later. You can arrange it however you like here as well. So once you have your module ready to go and you've got all your contents in it, you can go ahead and click the 3 buttons and click edit. Now the edit will give you some different options depending on how much you have in your module and if there's a module before or after it. So here I can lock this module until a particular date. So I can say, okay, I don't want students to view or be able to click on anything in this module until the start of the semester or a few days before. So I'm going to set a due date for it, and it's going to lock it until that time. So we can lock it. If you don't set a time, it'll automatically do 11:59. So maybe you want to unlock it at 8 a.m. For students. You can now, because there's things in your module, you can add requirements and you can have it to where students must complete all of these requirements. You can make it to where students have to move through it in sequential order. So if the order of the materials is really important and you want them first to view the lecture and then take the quiz, you might want to set it to be sequential. If you don't care about it being sequential, you can uncheck it. You can also select students must complete one requirement before moving to the next module. So maybe if you have some optional assignments in there, you can do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and select students must complete all of these requirements, and then I'm going to select move through the requirements in sequential order, just so you can see what that's like. Next, you'll need to select everything in the module. So we're adding the requirements. So the page about your instructor, I'm going to have them just view it. Next, I'm going to have the discussion board. I want them to contribute to the page. So they have to post at least once for it to give them a check mark and allow them to move forward. And then next, I want them to submit the Tell 3 Things About Me assignment. So I want them to submit the assignment. And notice that the options change depending on what you have, right? I'm going to add another one about the files. I just want them to view that. And then for the syllabus quiz, I want them to submit the quiz, submit it, or they can score at least. Maybe I say I want them to get a 90% or above on the syllabus quiz so that I know for sure that they've read the syllabus and they understand everything that's needed in that course. So maybe if it's out of 10 points, maybe it'll be 9 out of 10. I can update this module, and now you'll notice it says view, contribute, submit, etc. Also, if the lock date is past your current time, which I just realized I'm going to have to change this so that you can see it, we'll update it. It'll say will unlock May 25th at 8 p.m. So you'll see the lock date and things like that. So once you've published this module and you're ready to go, if you go to Student View, you'll notice that students won't be able to open this module. They'll be able to see everything in it, but they'll get this little notification that says will unlock May 25th at 8 p.m. It also says now complete all items and has these little circles, which I showed you before in the example course. So I'm going to go ahead and leave Student View. Something else that's really great about modules is when you have a module that's before it, you can also set prerequisites. So for this week 1 module, I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit. And now you'll notice I have an extra section here for Add Prerequisites. So now I can require students to complete the Welcome Begin Here module before they start week 1. So if I update this, it'll say Prerequisite Welcome Begin Here. So if I publish this so students can view it and go back to Student View, it'll say here Prerequisite Welcome Begin Here, and they won't be able to click on anything in week 1 until they've got a green check mark on each one of these items and continue on through. So these are really great functions in modules that you can set to help your students move through your course material in a more efficient and effective way, right? We want students to learn, in a logical manner. And so using modules and the module setting, requirements, and prerequisites can really help you to do that. So I hope this video has been really helpful as a general overview and a deep dive into modules, and I hope you have a wonderful day.